Hello, this is Learning with Mark Warren, and today I'm going to tell you about how I got started in photography. Shortly after I got out of high school, I started roller skating. I didn't really have much to do until college started, so I was skating almost every day. I hadn't really skated much before that, but I picked it up really quickly. I eventually found a skating coach, and before I knew it, I was actually competitive roller skating. While I was skating at various meets, I would always see someone with an SLR camera taking pictures of skaters, and I thought, wouldn't it be cool if I could take great pictures and get pictures of all my friends? I had a cheap point and shoot camera at the time, but I couldn't really get any good photos with it. It was shortly after that I got my first SLR camera, which was a Minolta XT-SI. It was an entry-level autofocus 35mm film camera, so this was well before digital came along. The first time I tried to take pictures with it, they came out horrible. The images were dark, they were blurry, and that began my journey in teaching myself photography. I had to learn about f-stops, film speeds, and lenses so I could shoot in low light, and also learn about shutter speeds, how to freeze action, as well as a whole lot more. The more I tried to get the perfect pictures of my friends, the more I had to learn about photography. This created the endless journey for me that's still ongoing today. Eventually, I upgraded my camera and lenses and settled on a Nikon F100 35mm film camera. It was my favorite film camera before I went to digital. I hadn't really thought about photography as a career, I just wanted to get better. When my cousin got married, I took my camera with me and shot as many pictures as I could without being in the official photographer's way. I got quite a few good shots for me, but I didn't really think nothing of it until about a year later when my cousin was asking if anyone in the family had pictures from her wedding. You see, a year had passed and the official photographer never delivered the pictures to her. There was excuse after excuse. When she did finally get them, they were terrible. I was surprised because he had such an elaborate setup and a large format box camera. I was thinking to myself, one day I might be like that. I told my cousin that I had pictures and I sent her the negatives. She later contacted me and said, of all the pictures she got, mine were amazing. I didn't think they were great, but I tried to catch moments, not just take pictures. She was so grateful that she had some memories of her wedding day. What happened with my cousin was one of the first two important lessons I learned about photography, and that is the equipment doesn't make you a great photographer, and that moments are more memorable than being technically perfect. So after this happened, I started a part-time career in photography while still learning as much as I could. I took continuing education classes at my local parks and recreation. My instructor was great, and the best advice he gave me was, you will only get better if you practice. I practiced a lot and I saw a lot of improvement over time. I was taking pictures for friends and families as well as small weddings. One of my struggles was lighting. I finally decided to focus my learning efforts on learning flash photography. Now, they say in photography you should learn natural lighting first before learning flash photography. But I kind of did it backwards. Actually, let me clarify that. I knew about natural lighting, but I didn't understand it until I learned about flash photography. You see, with flash photography, you actually have to control everything, and because I knew exactly how I needed to set up my flashes to get the results that I wanted, I started seeing and understanding natural light a lot better because of it. While I was learning flash photography, this was about the time that I transitioned into digital. My first DSLR was the Canon 20D. Film was still the more popular format, and professionals were saying that digital cameras would never replace film. However, from working in the computer industry and seeing how fast things were progressing, I could see the writing on the wall, and that film would not be the medium of choice in years to come. I got rid of all my film equipment, and I've been on digital ever since then. Now, I surprisingly went with Canon cameras because I loved their ergonomics and their image quality, even though I had shot with Nikon when I was using film cameras. That being said, for my own personal work, I prefer Canon, but I have shot with Nikon, Sony, Panasonic, and several other name brand cameras throughout my photography career. If you understand the basics about cameras, then you should be able to pick up any camera, no matter what make or model, and be able to shoot with it. This was the first thing I always mentioned to my students when I was teaching classes, and the first thing I cover on my upcoming online Basics of Photography course that will be ready soon. I ran my photography business for probably over 15 years and photographed many weddings, business portraits, school headshots, sports portraits, and the list goes on and on. While I did enjoy my photography business, I started to steer in a different direction and began to move more to teaching. I ended up becoming an instructor for my local parks and recreation. Yep, the same class that I had taken when I was just starting out, I was now the instructor of. Talking about coming around full circle. It was about that time that I started to put YouTube videos up to share what I've learned with people worldwide. I never realized how far the videos that I have posted would reach. I have had subscribers contact me from all over the world because they saw a video that I did. I believe that anybody can learn photography, Photoshop, Lightroom, or whatever as long as they put the time, practice, and dedication to it. My purpose of this channel and my website is to help you along the way and hopefully help you get it faster than I did. So that's pretty much my photography story. I hope this video has inspired you, and feel free to post in the comments how you got into photography. Also, if you like this channel, be sure to subscribe so you can keep up with my latest photography video postings. This is Learning with Mark Warren, and we'll catch you on the next one.